My name is David Sandoval.
Okay. So, how long do you think this movement will last? Do you think you guys will end it with success or without success?
Well, it's the funny thing is that we've got a political season. There's 13 months until the next, presidential election. And I think that we're going to see this momentum gain strength, gain membership, and gain a voice over those 13 months. And as all political movements do, they ebb and flow with political seasons, but this has sustainability because we have issues that won't be solved in 13 months, that won't be solved in just a couple of years. So until the issues have been resolved, the party will not be dissolved, or this movement will not be dissolved until the issues have been resolved.
Okay. How are you guys trying to make a change? Like, what are your strategies in this entire movement?
Well, the secret is, Gandhi said that change that we seek in the world must first begin at home. So we're trying to make small changes. You vote with your actions, you vote with your dollars. And in a free enterprise system, nothing is free. Freedom isn't free. It must be bought. It must be bought with our dedication. So let's say that you're worried about jobs in your local community, and then you go and you buy goods that were built in China or built in India or built somewhere where it didn't create a job for an American, then in that way you're hypocritical. So if you really want jobs for Americans, buy things made by Americans, buy things in your local community. If you're tired of big banks imposing fees that are unreasonable, move your money to a credit union that is not for profit and that actually has lower fees and things like that are more fair, because this whole movement is about jobs. This whole movement is about our future. This whole movement is about fairness and equality, and it's about freedom. It's about the framers of the Constitution and the things that we are supposed to hold dear, like life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Our children are no longer going to live longer. Our children will not live longer than our parents. So our future has been compromised of life. Our security financially has been compromised. And now the pursuit of happiness it's a long lost thought. We don't have time to pursue happiness because they're so worried about pursuing a job.
Okay. So how are you deciding to make change? Are you guys using electoral politics to push for change, or?
Well, you have to understand that once the politicians realize that we have an agenda that they have to answer to. Right now we have Republicans, we have Democrats, and they're voting not for people, but for parties. They're voting a party line and not a people line. And because of that, there is stalemate and there's inactivity when we should be helping. And so this isn't about a party. It's not about supporting a party. It's about supporting change. And I mean real positive change that could be effectuated through people. And this is, again, the most pure form of democracy in action.
So basically you take votes, or you let people know what you guys are trying to push for, and then everyone agrees to it and they try to support that?
Well, a consensus process is built, and that's where everyone is brought into a General Assembly. Mm-hmm. And at that General Assembly, there are ideas that are proposed that have been built in committees. And so the committees are groups of people who are interested in a particular subject, who have expertise in a subject or are passionate about a particular subject. And they create proposals. Those proposals are brought to the General Assembly. Everyone has a voice in the General Assembly. And if even one person does not agree, then it cannot be passed, it cannot be resolved. And so it takes time to build consensus, but in the consensus model, no one's opinion is unimportant and no one is left behind.
And then, so do you have any comments on Wall Street? Because I'm going to guess that you guys were affected by what's going on at Wall Street, thus you guys began to make your movement here.
Well, we have to understand that Occupy Wall Street is, sort of the launching pad for all of the Occupy movements. And Occupy isn't a militaristic term. Honestly, we want to occupy your hearts because we're fighting for the 99% of people who have been left out, who have been disenfranchised. And I forget the question. Repeat the
Okay.
question.
So just a comment on Wall Street,
Wall
like
Street,
what you think
okay.
about it.
So let's say that you turn on the news and you hear the person say, good news today, the stock market went up. Bad news today, the stock market went down. What does that mean to you? Well, what moved the stock market? The stock market went up because the price of gold went up. That means that our faith in our monetary system went down. The price of the stock market went up because the price of oil went up. That means we're going to start paying more at the pump and for everything that we consume. Why are we celebrating when the stock market goes up? Is that putting money in our pocket? Absolutely not. The stock market goes up means oil is more expensive. It means that gold is more expensive because those are the two primary things that have moved the stock market in the last 2 years. So we don't care about the stock market. The stock market is a reflection of greed. Okay, it used to be a way of regulating trade, regulating monetary systems, but it since has been hijacked by speculation. Do you think the price of oil would be what it is if people weren't speculating that it was going to rise? And so we have to end speculation. We have to end cronyism. We have to decentralize our government, give rights back to the states, back to the local governments, where people could go to city council meetings and be heard, where they could effectuate change at the local level, and that will grow. And that collective change at the local level will influence the way that our federal officials act.
All right, thank you. And a few more questions, just like two more, I think. So, what do you think? What do you think makes a successful movement? Is it the people, or is it just mass?
No, a successful movement has to be built on big ideas. It has to be built on ideas that people could rally around, that they could feel that they're part of. If you don't believe that you have, in other words, if you have a great job and you feel awesome about the future and you believe that everything around you is fair and you think that you have all the freedoms that you deserve, then you don't have any reason to be part of this movement. But if you or people you love are underpaid or underemployed or unemployed, if you don't believe that you have a bright future, your future is being challenged by the circumstances, if you don't believe you're being treated fair by the system, if you don't believe you really have the freedoms that we once had, freedom of assembly, freedom of speech, and if you don't believe that, then you're the 99%. You are us and we are you. So don't sit down. I want you to get up off of the couch. I want you to get on your feet. I want you to get out the door. I want you to grab a sign, and I want you to join us, because we're fighting for the future of America. And this is a fight that has meaning. It's a fight that has purpose, and it's a fight that honestly is all of ours. So please join us, because we have already joined you. We're together, and in unity we could accomplish anything.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.